Have you ever asked yourself, am I still attractive now that I'm over 60? At an age when society gently suggests you should be modest or step aside, beauty, especially the beauty of an older woman, becomes quiet, yet powerful. It's no longer about youthful appearance, but the allure of seasoned eyes, a kind smile, and a calm demeanor that draws others in without effort. In today's world, where beauty is often defined by age and media standards, many older women don't realize that they're still shining in their own unique way. They don't need to wear lavish clothes or wear heavy makeup, because the way they listen, the way they speak, the way they enter a room is already enough to comfort and uplift others. That's the kind of beauty time cannot take away. It can only deepen it. If someone has ever told you that they feel at ease around you, if people often seek your advice, not because you know everything, but because you make them feel respected, if you still receive warm, admiring looks without knowing why, then you might be carrying something many desire, the charm of a beautiful woman, even without youth. In today's video, I will share with you 7 clear signs that you are an attractive woman, even if you've never thought of yourself that way. This isn't just about appearance. It's about your presence, your energy, and the value you bring to the world. And perhaps by the end of this video, you'll look in the mirror with a different smile, one of recognition and pride. 1. Others admire your presence, not just your appearance. Your confidence, warmth, and the way you communicate make people feel at ease and drawn to you. There is a kind of charm that cannot be measured by a mirror or the number on a scale. It's when people speak of you, not with, "She looks so young for her age," but with a gentle smile and the words, "I feel at peace when I talk to her." After 60, outward beauty may evolve, but your presence, the kind that comes from within, becomes a timeless force of attraction. In today's world, where face-to-face interaction and personal presence are essential to human connection, an older woman who carries herself with confidence, warmth, and openness becomes a figure many admire. It's no longer about being young or not. It's about how you walk into a room and instantly make it feel calmer and more comfortable, with nothing more than a sincere glance, a thoughtful nod, or a caring question. This kind of allure doesn't come from how you dress or apply makeup. It comes from the feeling you bring into other people's hearts. They feel heard, they feel respected, they feel safe when they're with you. You don't need to raise your voice to make an impression. You don't need to argue to prove your worth. You simply need to be present, with dignity and sincerity, and people are naturally drawn to you. At family gatherings, community events, or wellness classes, it's often the woman with presence, not the loudest voice or the most colorful outfit, who commands the room's attention. She may not be at the center, and she may not speak often, but when she does, the whole room listens. Her presence doesn't come from loudness, but from steadiness, a quiet strength shaped by years of living with grace. And here's something you must remember. When someone tells you, "I feel calm when I talk to you," it's not just a compliment about your personality. It's an affirmation that you possess an invisible, deeply valuable kind of beauty, the beauty of presence. A beauty that only comes when you've lived long enough, deep enough, and wise enough to know the true worth of a woman lies not in what she wears, but in how she makes others feel. You don't need to try to look young again. Each wrinkle on your face is a signature of experience. What makes you beautiful is not hiding time, but walking alongside it with confidence and serenity. When you speak with eyes that understand and a voice that's gentle yet sure, you embody a beauty that time can only deepen. And if you've ever heard someone say, "I hope I'm like you when I reach that age," then congratulations. You are living proof that a woman's beauty does not end at 60. On the contrary, it may have only just begun when you learn to be fully, unapologetically yourself. Second, younger generations admire your style and elegance. Your personal style, refined yet effortless, inspires those who come after you. In a country like the United States, where fashion constantly shifts with trends and the fast pace of life urges people to chase youth, there is a kind of elegance that holds timeless value. It comes from intentional choices: a scarf in the perfect color, a pair of delicate earrings, a well-fitted coat. Nothing flashy, nothing trend-driven, yet enough to turn heads. And that is you. When younger people see an older woman dressed with subtle grace and natural poise, they don't just see neatness, they see a silent message. I know who I am. I have nothing to prove. And that in itself is admirable, because in a world where everyone is searching for their own identity, you, through your calm, modest, and composed presence, become a living example of mature sophistication. Pay attention. You may not be the flashiest dresser at a community event or a senior yoga class, but you're the one young woman quietly observing. From the way you pair colors, to your neat hairstyle, to the gentle accent of a scarf, you're not dressing up, you're showing love for yourself through every little detail. Perhaps you've heard a compliment like, "You always look so dignified and elegant." These words aren't just about fashion, they're about presence. And you don't need expensive clothes to possess that presence. Because the way you stand with a straight back, the way you walk with intention, the way you choose simple but well-suited outfits, those things already reflect a style that is calming and worth emulating. In today's culture, older women are often rendered invisible in the eyes of the younger generation. But do you know what happens when you show up with confidence, grace, and clothing that reflects self-respect? You break that invisibility. You tell the world, age doesn't dim me, it sharpens me. And you become living proof that style has no age, only women who know who they are and live it fully. Many believe they need to dress younger to feel attractive, but you don't. You don't need body-hugging dresses or high heels to be noticed. A soft knit sweater, a gentle lip color, a pair of clean, light-toned flats. These are enough for the younger generation to recognize your class. It's a beauty that doesn't scream for attention, but leaves a lasting impression. It doesn't show off, but it quietly inspires. And perhaps you don't even realize it. Your simplicity and refinement are teaching the next generation a powerful lesson. That true allure doesn't come from chasing trends, but from choosing what truly suits you. They may not say it aloud, but they're watching you and thinking, "Someday, I want to be like her." 3. People maintain eye contact and listen intently. Your allure reveals itself in the way others focus on you. Hold eye contact and treat your words with care. Some people step into a conversation and instantly draw attention, not because they speak loudly or often, but because when they do speak, others instinctively pause to listen. If you've ever noticed that when you share something, the people around you slow down, turn toward you, and hold your gaze a little longer than usual, that is no accident. That is a clear sign of deep personal magnetism and inner strength. Today, communication often happens in rushed exchanges, fleeting glances, and brief replies. So when someone stops, holds your gaze, and truly listens, it means something. It means you don't just have presence, you have weight. Your words carry value. The way you express yourself, from your calm voice and sincere eyes to the clarity of your speech, creates a space where others want to enter and remain. You may not always notice it, but those moments when someone leans toward you, sets their phone aside, nods gently, and keeps their eyes on you, those are the world's quiet way of saying, "I respect you." These small, meaningful actions aren't driven by politeness. They stem from a natural kind of attraction, one that doesn't demand attention, but earns it through steadiness and sincerity. The beauty of an older woman no longer lies in volume or display. It lies in how she shows up. When you choose to listen more than you speak, when you ask questions that make others feel seen, and when you respond with calm instead of judgment, your voice becomes something people wait for. And when you speak, the silence that follows is the deepest compliment of all. Notice it at family gatherings, in community circles, when you speak up. If young people look toward you instead of down at their phones, if others hold your gaze instead of drifting away, that's not just courtesy. That's because what you say matters. You make others feel uplifted in your presence. And that is not something just anyone can do. In Western culture, eye contact is one of the clearest signs of attention and respect. When others look at you naturally, steadily, without avoidance, it means you occupy a meaningful place in that moment. Not because you're to be pitied, but because you're to be cherished. And here's the beautiful truth. You don't have to strive to earn this. Your life experience, your empathy, your listening heart, they've created it. When you speak with kindness, without judgment, and offer something useful, you become the kind of woman everyone wants in the conversation. You bring trust, you bring warmth, and you bring a depth that no technology or outfit could ever replicate. So if you've ever wondered why people seem to look at you longer, listen more carefully, or say, "There's something about the way you talk that makes me feel calm," then please know this. It's a very real sign that you are captivating in the most beautiful way a seasoned woman can be, with your eyes, your words, and your peaceful heart. 4. You receive compliments on your skin, hair, or posture. Healthy skin, well-kept hair, and confident posture are signs of natural beauty and vitality. Have you ever stepped out of a grocery store, public library, or doctor's office, and someone turned to you with a smile and said, "I love your hairstyle," or "Your skin looks so healthy"? These passing yet sincere compliments speak to something deeper, that you are still glowing, not with the youthful energy of your 20s, but with the vitality of a woman who respects and cares for herself. In modern societies, where beauty products fill every shelf and advertisements constantly tell you to refresh yourself, it's your natural yet thoughtful appearance that truly makes you stand out. You don't need a perfect salon blowout or a foundation that hides every trace of time. You simply need skin that looks alive, even with age spots, but clean and moisturized, paired with neatly trimmed hair and a posture that speaks of quiet strength. That alone is enough to make people take notice. But this isn't just about appearance. It's about the message your appearance conveys. I care for myself. I cherish this body. And I value each day I live. When you walk with a straight back, steady steps, and your head held high, others see vitality. They see a woman not diminished by age, but elevated by the dignity with which she lives. There are things you don't have to say. People simply feel them. A firm stride, a haircut that suits your features, skin that may be simple, but clearly cared for. These subtle details are how you tell the world, "I am still living, and I am living beautifully." in my own way. And that is what makes you captivating. Many wrongly assume that older women don't need to care about their appearance anymore. But in truth, it is this gentle care, without pressure, that sets you apart. You don't care for your body to earn praise. You do it because you know that when the body is respected, the spirit grows stronger. At a senior art class in New York, a teacher once said, "Your posture is the model I want my younger students to study." Why? Because your posture radiates confidence. A confidence born not from arrogance, but from experience, from having walked through life's storms, from knowing your worth without needing validation. If you've ever been complimented on the way you walk, on skin that looks smoother than expected, or on your hair that always looks neat and luminous, know that it is not by accident. It's the result of persistence, of small, daily choices, choosing to stay hydrated, to eat nourishing foods, to sleep well, and, above all, choosing to treat your body kindly, like an old and faithful friend. So if today you look in the mirror and see the marks of time on your skin, in your hair, or in your stance, don't only focus on what has changed. Look for what remains: life, radiance, and inner strength. That is the real beauty. The beauty others notice not because you ask them to, but because you never stop shining from within. 5. People respect your quiet confidence. Your self-assurance, without needing to prove yourself, makes you stand out and earns genuine respect. There is a kind of confidence that doesn't raise its voice, doesn't rush to speak first, and doesn't try to be the center of every conversation. It's the quiet kind, the kind that enters a room with a calm smile, takes a seat with composure, and doesn't feel the need to prove anything to anyone. And that is precisely the kind of confidence that makes people pause and listen. In today's world, where personal value is emphasized more than ever, confidence is one of the most admired traits. But here's the beautiful truth. People can sense confidence even when you're not trying to show it. And this is especially true for older women, those who have lived long enough to understand that you don't have to seek attention to be respected. You simply are. When you walk into a family gathering, a church meeting, or a community event, looking neat, with a calm gaze and a presence that quietly says, "I know who I am," you're doing something rare. You're commanding respect without ever demanding it. Young people don't admire you because you speak perfectly, but because you don't overreach. You let your wisdom and essence speak for themselves. Have you ever been told, "I like how calm you always are," or "I feel safe when I'm near you"? Those are not casual compliments. They are expressions of admiration for your inner strength. A strength that doesn't come from degrees, wealth, or fame, but from the way you've stumbled, risen, and now choose to live according to your values, gracefully. Confidence doesn't mean being right all the time. It means being able to say, "I don't know, but I'm willing to learn." It means not letting others' opinions shake your heart. It means speaking your mind, not to persuade, but to share. And that very quality makes you a role model, not just for your peers, but for younger women still struggling to find their place in this world. In group discussions or community activities, it becomes clear who holds true influence. It's not the loudest voice in the room. It's the woman who, with just a nod or a quiet smile, makes others feel seen. If you've ever noticed people watching for your response before speaking, it's because they've placed their trust in you. They see your steadiness, and that is the deepest form of attraction. You don't have to become someone else to be heard. By staying true to yourself, without chasing youth or trends, you naturally stand out. And sometimes, In a noisy world, it's your stillness that makes others feel the safest. So if today, people no longer describe you as youthful, please don't feel disheartened, because you now possess something even more precious, a deep confidence that needs no decoration, no competition, yet still earns respect and draws people near. That is not just a sign of an attractive woman. It is the mark of a woman who has grown in the most beautiful way. 6. You have a natural warmth and charm. Your smile, kind gestures, and ability to truly listen make others feel comfortable around you. Some people don't need to speak much or dress elegantly. Their very presence is enough to make the whole room feel warmer. If you're the kind of person who makes others feel at ease just by sitting next to them, or if people often confide in you, even upon first meeting, then congratulations, you possess a rare and beautiful kind of allure. The charm that radiates from a warm heart and a compassionate presence. In a society that values assertiveness and individualism, strength is often measured by decisiveness. But what people remember most is the feeling of safety and peace they experience when they're near someone like you. With listening eyes, a sincere smile, and a perfectly timed gentle nod, you offer something far more lasting than eloquence. Your quiet care creates a kind of presence that speaks louder than words. Have you noticed? When you walk into a church, a community class, or even your local grocery store, people tend to speak to you. A young cashier shares something about her family. An older gentleman next to you in the doctor's waiting room begins to open up about his worries. They don't do that with everyone. They do it with you because they sense something, that you are truly present, truly listening, and truly kind. This kind of presence cannot be faked. It comes from how you see others, not with judgment, but with understanding. From the way you ask, "How are you today?" Not as a formality, but with a genuine desire to know the answer. That's what draws people in, without them knowing why. Because they don't just see beauty in you, they feel healed in your presence. Many think a woman must make a bold impression to be attractive, but you choose a gentler way. You don't dominate, you don't compete. Yet somehow, you always make people feel seen, heard, and understood. That's not just charm. That's the art of living well. And whether you realize it or not, you practice it every day. You may not often hear compliments like, "You look young," or "You stand out," but you likely hear someone say, "I feel calm when I'm around you." That is no ordinary praise. That is one of the clearest and truest signs of mature beauty. Not a beauty that creates pressure, but one that creates safety. In a world increasingly disconnected by technology and speed, a woman who listens, smiles sincerely, and is fully present becomes someone everyone longs to be near. You are that source of comfort in your community, in your family, and in the eyes of younger people still finding their way. So if today you've ever wondered, "Am I still attractive?" The answer is yes, more than ever. Because the light you radiate does not come from makeup or fashion trends. It comes from a heart that knows how to love, from a soul that has grown deep, and from a presence that soothes everyone it touches. 7. People glance at you from afar, curious eyes and quiet smiles. From strangers are signs that your confidence, grace, and charm still captivate. There is a kind of attraction that needs no spoken praise, just a subtle glance, a lingering look, or a passing smile from a stranger in the middle of a hurried day. If you've ever noticed someone looking at you fondly in the park, at a cafe, or while walking through a local farmer's market, then you've experienced one of the truest signs of natural allure, a quiet magnetism that comes from within, from your steady presence and genuine spirit. In a world rushing by, most gazes are fleeting. But if someone pauses their eyes on you, a woman of age, it means something. It means they noticed you, not for your youth, but because your presence was too beautiful to ignore. They may not approach or say a word, but the way they look, softly, respectfully, or with gentle curiosity, tells you that you still make the world slow down, just a little. You might be wearing a simple coat, flat shoes, and carrying a bag of produce. Yet the way you walk, grounded and graceful, makes others wonder, who is she? She looks remarkable. Those glances don't judge, they admire, because what they see in you is not the beauty of screens or trends, but a beauty that is real, alive, and full of quiet emotion. You may no longer draw stares the way younger women often do, but that, in itself, is a gift, because the attention you now receive is no longer driven by impulse or superficial desire. It's born from admiration, curiosity about your strength, your self-assurance, and the elegance that asks for nothing but commands notice. When you're sitting at a small cafe on the corner, reading a book or chatting with a friend, and someone walks by and offers a subtle smile, that is your moment of radiance. No spotlight, no makeup, just you, confident, kind, and authentic, being the highlight of someone's day. Remember, not every sideways glance is judgment. It may be appreciation, gentle curiosity, or simply a natural response to something quietly beautiful. And if this happens to you often, at church, the market, the park, or while walking your dog, then it is proof that you are radiating the presence of a truly attractive woman, one whose light is untouched by age. Many older women believe, no one notices me anymore, but in truth, attention hasn't disappeared. It has simply changed form. From careless whistles to quiet admiration, from shallow flirtation to respectful nods, and that is what makes you more captivating than ever. You don't need to seek attention. Your presence, if honest, confident, and quietly dignified, naturally invites others to look, to wonder, to feel drawn in. And you don't need to do anything more than this. Just keep being yourself. We've just explored 7 clear signs that you, perhaps without even realizing it, are still a deeply attractive and captivating woman in your later years. Not because you've aged well, but because you've stayed true to who you are. You don't need the spotlight. You don't need validation from others. A healthy glow to your skin, confident posture, attentive eyes, and a sincere smile. Those alone are enough to capture hearts. You may have doubted your beauty, worn down by a society that sets harsh standards for older women. But now, allow yourself to believe this. True beauty doesn't lie in age. It lies in maturity, self-respect, and the way you inspire others simply by living your life with grace. When you choose to live with calmness, sincerity, and compassion, you become a quiet but unmistakable light in a noisy world. You are not just an attractive woman. You are a role model for those who come after you. Every small action, the way you care for yourself, the way you listen, the way you smile at a stranger, might be a precious lesson to a young woman still trying to find herself. Never underestimate your impact just because you've moved beyond middle age. You, with your seasoned presence and ever-young heart, are sending out a powerful message. A woman's allure does not fade with time. It deepens, and it shines in her own unmistakable way.